For any of you that don't know what this meeting tonight is about, the general purpose of this is to put some good positive ideas out about what we can do as individuals and as a group to further the agenda, to not lose any more of our rights, mainly dealing with the Second Amendment and things of that nature.
All right. For those who don't know me, I'm One Arm Crank. My first name is Tyler. I live in the great city of Mesa, Arizona. Thank you everybody for joining this afternoon, whatever time you're coming in here. I'm genuinely humbled by the amount of people who have gathered together just today. This is just proof that there's many of us out there that care. We do care. We're in rough times. I don't need to explain that any further. The time to talk about facts and statistics is done. What we do now, going forward, is what's going to define our great nation, our children, generations to come. And for all those who have given their life defending the Constitution, you will not be forgotten. Your cause will have not gone in vain. Today we need to come together as a group of people, citizens united, separated by counties, states. And to those who are listening outside of our borders, thank you for your support. To those who are here as public officials, whether you wear a badge or you serve in our military, thank you for your presence. We appreciate your support. We ask today that every single person respects everybody that takes the chance to step on the floor and share their proposals. I want to make this very clear. If there is any statements that are terrorist in nature or that are violent or of unlawful nature, you will be removed from the chat floor immediately. We do not associate with people of that nature, and we will not be thrown into that category of people that are of that nature. Nothing that is said today will be of unlawful nature. Everything that we will do will be lawful. So, with that said, whenever you take the floor, please present your name. You are welcome to share which county you live in or what state you're a part of. That's up to you. And please make your proposal concise and make sure that you leave time for everybody else. And when you're done, please say that you're done. You can do that by saying, I'm finished, over and out, or whatever else you want. I'm going to let the floor be turned over to the first speaker now. Houston, would you be willing to start off this meeting? Everybody, I just wanted to say thank you. This is truly awesome to be a part of this caliber of people. Thank you all. Over and out.
Hey guys, I'm Houston. I'm here in Texas, and I'm the one that started the IG family here on Instagram. We're all affiliated. We're all brothers. This room on the regular, man. There's a whole core group of us that have each other's backs at all times. That would do anything for one another. And it's deeper than a brotherhood. I mean, we're all family, this core group of us. And we're in here just to come together united, since everything's so broken and split up. It's time for the separation to end and that remending of the body of the people. And just do it. I'm going to pass the floor back over to Tyler, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
Thank you, Houston. Appreciate that. We have a floor today full of moderators who will be watching the room carefully to make sure that we are conducting ourselves appropriately and that people have a fair chance to bring forward their proposals and what they would like to do, whether this is for your county or your state or for the nation. What we're looking for is out-of-the-box thinking. We would like to hear honest proposals because I'm sure that every single person out there has had time to think this through. I think that America is beyond angry at this point. It's been clear what's been proposed. Many people feel about that. We're past that. We're at a point where we need to be smart. We need to think carefully, and we need to be calculated. And we need to think about ways that we can be proactive and involved in our society to keep this from happening. Our opposition, as we speak, is working tirelessly against us to accomplish their agenda. And in order for us to keep that from happening, we need to bring our minds together. The war has already been started, and it's against our minds. This is the first part of what's going on right now. And we need to come up with real, legitimate ideas to help each other out. So if you live in a county and you can reach out and you can do something that's specific and unique to you, you have a duty to your county, to your state, to this nation, to stand up for your freedoms and the freedoms of your loved ones. So we all have a duty to our loved ones to stand up for our freedoms, and we have to be smart now. We have to be level-headed, and we have to be clear about where we stand and what we're willing to do it. And we have to stand behind those words, and we have to actually put into action what we plan to do. I would really like it if we can hear some proposals from people. Now, I know there's people who live up east and they're in New York, and there's terrible gun laws that have been passed and put into effect. We need to hear everything from everybody, from coast to coast. We need to hear from your standpoint how you're looking at this and what you're proposing to do to stop this from moving forward. We need ideas. We need to come together, and this is the idea of tonight. There's more than enough negativity out on the streets right now talking about all this. There's more than enough facts, and there's more than enough statistics for people to talk about and say what makes sense and what doesn't. That's not what we're here for. We're here to bring a positive message to all pro-amendment, Second Amendment people and people who support our Constitution. This is for you. This is your chance to come forward with positive proposals to make change, beyond just reaching out to your senator, beyond just reaching out to your local Congress and writing the president. There are other things that we can do every single day to make a difference. And a lot of those things are not happening, and it's up to us right now to do those things. None of them are unlawful. None of them have to be violent. They shouldn't be violent. If we can do things from the civil nature, this is what this organization is all about tonight. We have a lot of people here. Thank you to everyone who has taken time out of your Sunday evening to be a part of this. We really look forward to hearing everybody's proposals. And with that said, I'm going to leave the floor open. I'm just going to let go, and after 5 seconds, whoever would like to start, please do so. And when you're finished, just say you're done. And that's it, guys. Thanks everybody for being here. Please be respectful.
Hey, this is Gene. I'm from New York. I just want to say, being in the thick of it here, I understand we all want to stay lawful and, we want to do the right thing. But you're talking about people here where we're dealing with unconstitutional laws as they sit. So simply by expressing my Second Amendment rights, in most cases, I've broken the law.
My name is David Friend, Wilmington, North Carolina. One of the things I think really hurts our cause is a lot of the name calling. I know it's easy to call somebody a liberal or conservative, but in the end, we're all just Americans. I think that really hurts our cause. I think some of the things that get said, some of the rhetoric online, when it goes to violence, gun owners aren't violent, but when we're on there talking about, I'll shoot a cop if he comes at me, takes my guns, things like that, it might be how we feel inside, but, expressing it online just does not make us look like a sane group of people. Another thing, too, is sharing the shooting sport. I shoot IDPA, I shoot 3-gun, I shoot USPSA. Like I said, I shoot shooting sports. I always try to invite people out, people who think guns are taboo, who have a fear of firearms, may not grown up with them, may not know how to handle them. I always try to show them the safe way, explain to them that guns just don't go off, I display, defensive purposes, the shooting sport aspect of it, the self-defense aspect of it, and I let people understand why someone might want an AR-15, why someone might want, a 30-round magazine. Once they realize they can shoot a 30-round magazine in no time on the range and how long it takes to reload it, people's minds start changing. I've dated women who were just anti-gun, very liberal, and right now she's applying for a permit out in California for a handgun. So just getting people involved that way seems to be the biggest changer. But I'm out.
Hey, I'm Omar from the free state of Florida, more specifically the South Florida, Broward County. What I want to know is how laws in New York pass so fast, and I don't hear any news about it. I'm wondering if the NRA is going to sue, the state of New York, or what's taking place. To me, it seems like New York is asleep.
The laws were passed in a midnight session. There were no county hearings. There were no local opportunities or forums to object to them. They were forced through under necessity of action, and they did it in the middle of the night without most people being aware of it.
Hey, this is Lou from Long Island as well. And yeah, what they did was they used the guise of, we want to stop everyone from going out and buying firearms, so we're going to pass these laws immediately now before anybody could actually think about them.
This is Joe down here from Alabama, military background. Hey, I just wanted to ask real quick, what is did they put like a quick law down just to block you, and then now they're working on other laws, or how did that just go about? Because I'm not really hearing too much about it. I've just been briefed on a bunch of things that the Army is going to do if this were to happen, and them breaking it down big time with Fort Benning. I can't really go too much into it, but they're not letting me speak on. I can't vote about stuff like that due to the fact that I am tied to the military, and it's kind of rough for us too because we are the strongest. But I just wanted to know, did they place a law down and then block the New York and up north, and then now they're working on other stuff, or the whole thing over?
What they did in New York was write the entire law, but they wrote them quickly. They forgot to do the exemptions for, LEOs. They forgot to do exemptions for, county officials and government officials. So, they wrote these laws in the middle of the night, passed them really without anybody speaking about it publicly. And they're going to continue down that path. And Cuomo does not seem to care. Bloomberg doesn't care. I mean, that's been obvious for years that they just don't care about gun rights, or they believe the police can get to your house fast enough, when if you just sit back and Google, 911 response times in your area, from personal experience that you should be able to protect yourself if something goes wrong. End of story.
I'm Jacob from Virginia. I feel as though we have to nip it in the butt before it gets bigger. I mean, New York's only the start. Right now it's a magazine capacity ban. And like others are saying, they acted so quickly they haven't even made amendments for law enforcement or anything. Something's got to be done sooner than later. Over.
This is Mike Yates. I own Black Forge. Many of you know who I am. I'm not on here a lot. I'm usually too busy. But one thing I need to say is I'm not hearing people say I wrote my congressman, or I called my local chief of police, my local sheriff. Basically, I'm hearing a lot of people take the time to talk online, but they need to be writing their senator. They need to be writing their congressman. They need to be letting their local police chief, their local sheriff know. Find out where they stand. Ask your local sheriff. Call up. Ask to speak with them. Set up a meeting. Say, where do you stand on this? Are you going to be taking my firearms away? Should this be pushed? These are all things we don't need to talk to each other. I can talk to Houston all day, but Houston is a pro-gun guy, and Houston isn't who's writing the law. We need to take the time to stop talking so much amongst ourselves and start talking to the legislators. We need to go out and we need to call. I guess the main thing I'm really wishing is, more and more people would call their local police and ask. There's the chief of police of Sacramento County had so many people contact him and say that they did not want this, that he actually said that he personally wouldn't enforce it. Find out their standpoint on everything. As far as I'm concerned, And it needs to start from the bottom up. Local chief of police, your local councilman, your local senators, everybody that you can get local, and then let it go up from there. Over.
Hey, just to piggyback off what Mike just said from Black Forge, there's a police chief named Mark Kessler out of Pennsylvania that proposed a Second Amendment preservation ordinance. Some of you may or may not hear of it. It's not very widely known, but it's getting accepted through multiple municipalities in Pennsylvania. And I'm thinking that, just like Mike just said, if we start at the base level, we can supersede the congressmen who clearly don't give a crap about the people's opinions by passing, midnight legislative laws just that shit all over our Second Amendment, whatnot, so on and so forth. And I think that we can definitely rally some support. I mean, just look at all the people we got in here that can just start rallying in the local townships to pass this. It's if you want to look it up, just Google Mark Kessler Second Amendment Preservation Ordinance, and we can start right there, right at our local municipalities.
Hey, it's ex-Coastie. Like Black Forge said, I agree. I've called 2 local senators for the 2 districts that, I pretty much live in New York. I've got a phone call back from one, and I'm waiting on a phone call back from the other. I also plan on calling I want to call the 3 sheriffs, because they are elected officials in the 3 local counties in the area, and sit down and talk to them, especially being somebody that is in the industry and seeing what will happen if these bans and everything go through. There's going to be a lot of people on the...
And I agree with Mike. And the thing is, guys, another thing you can do is get your friends together, get your neighborhood, go to your neighbor's house, and y'all can set up a meeting and all go together, and there'd be a bigger presence. And hey, it's not just me coming as one individual. Look, there's 15 of us here, all for the same reason at the same time, But that's all I had to add on.
Being in a really anti-gun area in California, I can tell you that a lot of that doesn't work, but it does work too. But the most important thing you can do, in my opinion, if you're in an area like me, is take new people shooting, talk to new people about shooting, be very well spoken. A lot of people don't understand. Be patient with them. Take them out. Make sure they have a good time. Don't start them off on a 500 Smith & Wesson. Take them out. Have them shoot it to 22. Don't get frustrated as long as they're safe. If they mess up. Take new people shooting. That's, in my opinion, that's the most important thing you can do.
This is Sean in Hawaii. It is my opinion that the best way to change the opinion of gun owners is for us to go out and do some community service as gun owners and get some publicity for ourselves, some good publicity to show that we're just like anyone else.
Hey, this is Jordan from Florida. Yeah, I agree with that. I think the main difference between the anti-gun and the pro-gun right now is the amount of media attention they're getting. If we could do something to get media attention, to show we're responsible, try and share our views, I think that'd go a long way.
Yes, I agree with that. I think that the liberal media is making us out to be bad people when we're good, respectable, family-oriented people. It's not like we're out to kill, steal, and destroy. We're only here to protect those and those we love.
Hey guys, Steve, B5 Demon. I'm from Iowa. My proposal, and this is what I'm planning on doing, and this is what I've already put in motion, is we're going to sponsor a CCW course in my friend's garage. We've already got 6 or 8 people signed up to do it. And try to bring more people into the lifestyle and educate. That's the kind of things we all need to be thinking about right now.
See, but as the guy in Hawaii was saying earlier about doing more community service, we have a group in Michigan called the Michigan Open Carry people. Around do a ton of community service things, and every day they're still looked down upon.
I appreciate the sentiment as far as going out and doing things proactive for the community, but being that I live in New York and I'm aware of the climate here, it's very difficult to remove that stigma gun owner here in New York, especially considering the laws have already been passed and we don't have a lot of options. So I'm all ears.
Yeah, start somewhere else. Don't start at guns. They're already attacked. start expanding liberty in other avenues, and then work that into it. Work it into the conversations you have with people. It's like, look, we have these rights and they're under attack, even if it's just growing a garden in your front yard. These rights are under attack, and how do we defend those? Ask them those questions. Teach them how the system works. Teach them how to operate the system. Teach them how to participate in it. Teach them skills. Doesn't have to necessarily be about guns. It can be about anything. If it's changing, the oil on their car to growing, herbs or corn or watermelons in their front yard. It's not all about guns. I mean, guns are very important, don't get me wrong. And the fact that they're under attack is a scary, scary idea. But it's not just guns that are under attack. It's liberty on all fronts is under attack. And you have to fight that, and it's not just fighting it with guns. It's fighting it with your lifestyle. It's fighting it with who you vote for, what companies you give money to. There's a whole bunch that goes into this, but you have to do the research, follow the money. Don't give your money to people who try to take.
Hey, this is Jason in Texas. Just wanted to say I agree with the guy in Hawaii as far as the going out and getting community service and I don't know, maybe just organizing just local gun lovers here at whatever city you live in, and then almost like how car clubs have rallies or they sponsor events or anything like that. But I think that would be a big plus if we could all just bond together locally.
This is One-Armed Crank, and I'd just like to piggyback on what's been mentioned about New York. I know that it's really rough there right now, and it's very evident to everybody in the nation that you guys are being made an example of what's to come for all of us. And I do have something I'd like to propose for you New Yorkers. How would you guys all feel about a National Blue Gun Day? Or it would just be for New York, where you order a blue gun, just like a Kydex provider orders to make their holsters. Buy a blue gun. It's not a real gun. It's a piece of plastic. And open holster carry it in your city. Get large amounts of people to do this. It will be a movement that's completely lawful. It is legal. You're not carrying a gun. You're carrying a blue gun as a message. And you'll see the people that really stand up for those type of things. Now, this is just a proposal, and all I'm doing is throwing it out for New Yorkers. Because we can complain all day long about everything that's been taken. There's more than enough cynicism right now. And what we need to focus on is the positive. So we need proactive thinking. What can New Yorkers or any of us provide as proposal for your guys' situation right now? Over and out.
Hey, One-Arm, I think that's an awesome idea with the blue gun thing. If New York were to do something like that, and not just maybe in New York, but everywhere. Wisconsin kind of did the same thing when they were getting their concealed carry pushed through not too long back. Where it wasn't with the blue guns, but it was with $2 bills. Everywhere that they went, they went to the bank and would request $2 bills, and they started.
I'll tell you what. This is One-Armed Crank again. I live in Arizona, where we don't even have the need for a concealed carry permit. We have constitutional carry. But for all my brothers over in New York and all my sisters that are over there, I'd be happy to purchase a blue gun and open carry it to support you all. I think we can do this together and be a powerful message. We need to commit on something together. That's what's important, is that we're together. And I feel terrible for everything that's going on for all the New Yorkers, and including people in California, including people in New Jersey. It's not just one state. So I really like the idea of the blue gun. Is there anybody else out there that'd be willing to commit to the idea of the blue gun?
Yeah, Tyler, One-Arm, it's Derek from New York. I like your idea, I like where you're at, but Bloomberg did pass a law that New York City is not allowed to have any colored guns, so that might be a bad idea in the city, in the 5 boroughs area. I did hear somebody talking about another rally.
One thing I just want to say is in California, similar to what Derek said, we do have some weird laws about, quote, imitation firearms and the like. So what I actually do here, since I work at a gun shop, is I'll carry my holster around. Just an empty holster, and I wear Pro 2A shirts, and people ask me about it all the time, man, because I just leave my gun, in my trunk. And
I'm going to second the idea of the empty holster. That way, times are tough. Nobody has a lot of extra money laying around. I'm sure most of us have a holster. It would be real easy to walk around open carry with an empty holster all day.
I'm with Steve on this one. One-arm crank again, guys. In follow-up of what Derek said and the other gentleman from California, I did not know that that was of law. What about the idea of the empty holster and maybe going even above and beyond that? Anybody here have the power to create window stickers, bumper stickers of an empty holster logo, something that we could spread national and get their hands on and stick on the back of their window, you know, as a national movement that together we're supporting that don't have the right to defend themselves? I mean, like, the more that we can do, the more committed that we are, the more that we're going to get out of this. So, I mean, I do like the open holster idea, along with maybe something that's even further than that, bumper stickers and things of that nature, posted signs on mailboxes or things of that nature. I think that's a really great idea.
I would definitely be willing to throw some money towards that project to help get that off the ground.
I would as well. Might want to talk to Modest and Tin about that maybe.
Could maybe make the bumper stickers or something, you know, maybe call them like the unarmed project or the open carry project or something around those.
I've actually got the resources to make the stickers for a very low price.
Hey, how about wooden guns in the holsters, not the plastic guns?
Hey fellas, this is Mike from Black Forge. I only got a few more minutes and I have to go. There's one more idea I wanted to bring up if you guys have a second. In France, they raised the taxes to 75%. Do you know what turned that over? People wrote the government and said, we're moving. I'm taking this much of my income. I make this much a year and I'm taking it and I'm leaving France. So if you wrote your congressman and said, I make $60,000 or however much you actually make, and told them, I am leaving your state and going to Texas or Wyoming or Arizona, and let that build up. Let them see how much money they're actually going to use, because they only care about money. So show them exactly what they're going to be losing. I think, like I said, it worked in France. It overturned a tax law inside 2 months. So if we all said, look, and I will be telling Florida, I have a multi-million-dollar business. I pay so much in taxes, but I will take my business and I will go to a free state. I will take my income and go to a free state. If they realized how many people were actually going to move, it doesn't matter unless they see the numbers. If you show them how much money you make and how much they will be losing in taxes. Like I said, just the thing that gets me is that no matter what, at the end of the day, a state like Florida, they will not stand against the government because they get too much money in government money. Now, Texas has money, 17th largest economy in the world without the U.S. government, so they can afford to stand against them. If you show your state government that you will go to a free state, you will take your money, you will take your taxes, you will take your part of the infrastructure of their state and go someplace free, let them know. Because the only thing that's actually going to make these people understand is money. These lobbyists, they only care about money. The politicians, they only care about money. But when I look at Florida and say, I'm going to take my business this year, I'm slated for 40,000 firearms. Do you know how much money that is? And I'm going to take that somewhere else. And if you all say the same thing, I'm going to take my portion of taxes. I'm going to take my portion of our state and what I do, and what I contribute to our community, and I'm going to take it to a free place. I'm going to take it to Wyoming or Arizona or Texas. I'm going to take it someplace that has already stood up and made provisions for me to be free as an American. I think that that's going to be a stronger statement. I'm not saying that the blue gun's not a great, these are all great ideas. The stickers, these are all great ideas. Protest, peaceful protest is always a good idea. But at the end of the day, to show them monetarily what they, if we got everybody to write their senator and say, my $60,000 is going to a free place. Because I've already made arrangements. I'm going to tell you, folks, if Florida cuts me off, I'm going to Texas, and if Texas cuts me off, I'll go to another country where it's free. I'm not going to stop. So I don't think you guys should either. I think you should really take the time to write a letter
Everybody's getting W-2s in this year. Blur out some parts that are actual sensitive information. Just leave the part with your name and how much you're making and say, I'm taking this elsewhere. You won't have this. You won't have me. You won't have my vote. Not only will you not have my vote, you won't have my money. And when it all boils down to, at the end of the day, is money. That's what makes this world go around. So that's my 2 cents. Fellas, it's been great. I have to go and sit down. I got a couple of things I got to do. But this is good, and I think you guys should actually get together more often and talk. Over.
This is Terry from North Carolina. Mike, what you're saying is totally correct. It's awesome. You know, people, if you take away money from your area, your government's not going to like it. They will get, you know, definitely get their attention. Houston, I'd like to add that, you know, whenever you don't have it, some moderators take the floor, people can easily be interrupted, or, you know, as I said before, this app will time out for people who did not create this room. So that's why I'm trying to stress everybody, do not talk until you hear someone say over.
Hey, thanks for your proposals from Black Forge. This is One Arm Crank. I'd like to share my proposal, if you guys have a second to listen. I want to come up with something that I call Operation Accountability. I think everybody knows where I'm going with this. And I want this to start at a local level for each and every one of you. I know for myself here in my county, I know where my law enforcement stands. I know where our sheriff stands. And I'm done getting to the bigger picture here. Go to your sheriff. Go to your law enforcement. If you see an officer and he or she has a second to answer some questions for you, and you ask them if it's okay to ask those questions, and they're willing to answer them, know where these people stand. And further to that, make them accountable to those things by publicly letting other people know where those people stand. Those are public servants on public record, and it is okay for us to share with other people where our representatives, where our law enforcement, where all those people stand on their issue with what they will enforce and what they will not. This is something that needs to happen on a national level. I'm interested in hearing every single county around me and beyond me in other states with what law enforcement, what side they stand on. You know, are they going to uphold the Constitution? Are they not? This is what I'm proposing personally. What I'm asking here is I need some brains to come up with a good place that every single one of us can log into or create to let other people know on record, say, I've spoke with so-and-so, this is on record what he or she said, they said that they would enforce and what they will not. This allows us to have a sense of who's accountable and who isn't. And I know that there's going to be a lot of people who feel probably different about this than I do. But it's easy for people. I can tell you in the past, when I got together with my local congressman and I asked them, you know, where do you stand on auditing the Federal Reserve? A lot of these people would say, oh, you know, I'm going to vote in favor of auditing them. But then on public record, it shows otherwise. It showed that they didn't vote for the audit. So you have to hold these people accountable. They must be known for what they stand by. And this is where it starts now, because if this legislation goes national and it's a federal law that's in place and it will affect every single state, we need to find out where our law enforcement and our representatives stand. And we need to have it on public record for everybody to go to one place and see clearly. The same way that we can go on the internet and view all the fallen Iraqi war heroes and Afghanistan war heroes and see a full list of every person who was killed in action, I want it to be seen by every single citizen in this country who is on our side and who is not. Because I want them to know that our eyes are cast at them, that we are watching what they're doing. They need to be held accountable, and it's important for us to make sure that their feet are held to the fire, because it's them that are supposed to represent for us in the Constitution. And I think a lot of Americans have forgot that. So I would like to know who's interested in moving forward with that proposal. I've thought long and hard about this, and I just need ideas. I need people who can come together, and we need to find an outlet of a place that we can put that information for everybody to see easily and quickly. Over and out.
Hey everybody, this is Scott. I'm using Houston's phone just because I couldn't get in, but Tyler, I definitely agree with what you said, and I'm on board for that 100%, probably as well as a lot of people. Real quick, I won't tie up too long, but something that I'm doing already on my level, you can't do things on a major level until you start. So instead of talking about stuff repetitively
with people that already share my same feelings, I get other people involved. Like I started off with my grandmother and my aunt and people at my school that aren't into firearms or, you know, don't really have a big say-so in any of this. And if we all start small, we get people that are not already directly involved. If we talk to our neighbors and find out, you know, just like Tyler was saying, find out where their stand is at our, you know, our local law enforcement, that turns to a very progressive rolling ball that's going to pick up speed. You know, one neighbor talks to the next, asking questions, and that are standing side by side. So, I mean, if I were to propose anything, you know, and I won't touch on everything else because everybody's pretty well covered it, but you know, with everything we're doing, every step that we're taking, like what Tyler's saying and everybody else, you know, especially what Mike Yates at Black Forge said, you know, let's make sure that we do it on a small level first, and get communities together. Communities turn into cities, cities turn into states, states turn into, you know, so on and so forth. You know, so over and out.
Hey, what's up? This is Austin from the Garage Inc. You know, my biggest thing I've been doing lately is, besides posting up the posts that I do and having to deal with the pictures going popular and getting a lot of anti-gun people, I support the NRA. I support all the other gun activists as much as I can. You know, I'm in a different situation at times, so I can do a little bit more through my media outlook or my media outreach and everything else. But the biggest thing I can recommend for you guys and for what I've seen is support the gun rights activists. I mean, these are the people that are on Capitol Hill. These are the people that are fighting for us against these people. So, you know, do your research, find out the people that you want to support, find out the different gun right activists. There's plenty of them, the NRA, there's other ones that I can't think off the top of my head that I support, but do that. Besides, like what Mike said, I agree totally with what Mike said from Black Forge, and, you know, just do your research, really support the ones that are actually going to do something, and the money's going to the right cause.
All right, my name's Tucker from Oklahoma. I own Defender Industries. Guys, this is really just a time of reckoning. These things have happened before, and our country was great and overcame it, you know, in 1776. It's time that we don't let it get to that point. It's already begun. We need to stand up. We need to educate our friends, our family. Go take people shooting that have never been before or that are anti-gun. Do things that are proactive in a positive light for the gun community, because that's what we need, is positive education for the masses. You know, CNN, Fox News, all that, they're showing all this negative attention towards the Second Amendment and towards gun owners. And what needs to happen is positive attention. And the only way you can get that done is by being proactive and going out and doing that. You know, make YouTube videos showing, you know, how to disassemble guns just as an average citizen. Somebody that's not, you know, Austin Weiss, the Garage Inc., something like that. He's a great man, has a great reach. But it's not up to just him or just me or just Parapatriot. It's up to everybody to make this work and for us to work together.
Tucker, you're absolutely right. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm Brian. I'm a gunsmith in New York. He's absolutely right. It's not just up to the professionals in the industry to spread a positive word. It's about the people. That's what this country was founded on. It's the people that, you know, make things important. You know, you have to make the change. It's not up to some stiff in a suit sitting in some fancy ass chair on Capitol Hill that it's up to him to do things. It's up to you to control how this country is run, and you have to let them know how you want it to be run. If you don't, they're just going to do what they see as they see fit, or as what they feel, the way they feel people want it to be run. You know, it's not just something you can sit back and let happen. You have to proactively take care of things.
Hey guys, this is Kyle from Texas. Mike from Black Forge. Sorry I cut you off earlier, buddy. I was walking out of a restaurant so I could listen, and I didn't realize you got cut off, so my bad, dude. But along with what Mike said, what Scotty said, everybody in here, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but if you don't talk to people, don't expect change. That's your word of mouth is the best way to word out and talk to your friends. And once your friends see your side of it, tell them to start talking to their friends, and it'll spread like wildfire. That's the only way to really do it. I mean, if you think about it, back in '94 when the first gun ban went through, how much media attention was there on our side? There's none, and that's why it went through. This time around, we've got the internet, we've got the walkie-talkie app, we've got IG, we've got Facebook, guys. We've got the media to be able to spread the word. You have to use it if you don't want it to go through again.
And to touch base on what he's speaking about, look at the IG militia alone. Look at this room that you're sitting in that people can't get into because we filled it with capacity just to talk about ideas. And that's all we're doing, is talking about ideas to get what we want accomplished. Because it is our right. It is our Second Amendment right. It's what this country was founded upon. And just word of mouth through social media, we've filled up a room to where other people can't get in. You can do that every day. One person reaches another person, that person reaches two, those two people reach two apiece, that's four. Those four people reach two apiece. Look where you go in 5 days. You know, all you have to do is be proactive about it.
And everybody, just so you know, thanks, Tucker, by the way. I hope you were finished. Just so everybody knows, this meeting was not planned until about 12 hours ago. This came together this fast, and there's people who can't even get in the room right now. There's people who are sitting on the outside telling me that they can't get inside. So we need to use this time wisely to come up with real solutions here. And everything that everybody's proposed so far has been excellent. We got to keep this rolling. Let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep retaining the numbers and getting out every bit of input that we can get.
Good evening, guys. John in Connecticut. My gun club, 700 strong, we wrote letters to our senators, congressmen, and we also support Boy Scouts coming in using our indoor range for free for shooting. In Connecticut, the governor committed a commission of...
Jordan, you got cut off. Hit it, brother.
Well, I was just saying, I've contacted a few of my local gun clubs here, and it's like small numbers, and I had no idea Jay Carter was up here with a big membership like that with his gun club, but I'm literally contacting the heads of all the gun clubs around.
Hey guys, how you doing? It's Prasad from New Jersey. Thank you all for joining and for the great ideas. And One Arm Crank, I'm totally with you on the open holsters, and you know, it comes down to what you said. You really got to contact your congressmen and your senators and get it. Also, I'm not sure if everyone is aware. I know it's going on in New Jersey. I believe it's going on nationwide again. February 8th, there's supposed to be another march on the state capitals. So I strongly urge all of you to get involved and get everybody you can to join that and make flyers if you can. Drop them off at your nearest gun stores that people may or may not know. I can't see a gun store not, allowing you to leave flyers in there and just basically urging people to join you and get involved. So I guess that's really it. Thank you guys. Over.
So anyway, like I was saying, just contact the gun clubs. It's already an established base of pro-Second Amendment supporters, and if you're going to go to your local municipalities, use an already established member base. Get a hold of the gun clubs and rally up. There's no reason why all the gun clubs across Connecticut can't get together, put a petition together, and start submitting requests or demands of the local municipalities. That's my biggest idea. That's the biggest contribution I have right there.
Just a random idea. I don't know if anybody's seen Battle Cam on TV. It's a room where people could talk on cams and stuff like that, film on TV. Might be a good thing for us to open a IG family Battle Cam room.
To add on to what Big Biscuit was saying, even if you don't go to your local gun club and rally up, get with the other IG militia members in your area. That's a start. That's a nice little small group, and then you can grow from there.
Back to what One Arm Crank was saying about trying to have a record of where we talk to our local municipalities and sheriffs and try and document that. We might want to check into an open forum that we can all join and try and document that.
My question is what happens when this work? What happens when the open holster carry doesn't work? I mean, they've already railroaded over everything in New York. I mean, where's the next step? Where do we draw the line? Over.
We adapt. We thrive in any given environment we're dropped in. That's what you have to do, man. If it doesn't work out, then you go back to the drawing table and you find solutions. We're all here to work together. Stop today, guys. The good news is that right now we are 245 strong in this room. That's the good news. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we can't quit the fight before the fight even began. So let's just keep pushing these ideas forward. This is a gigantic think tank full of brains, and we got the power to push these ideas forward, and we got a lot of good people on our side. Let's keep this rolling. Over and out.
We should find a place where we can all, put our names down, our places down, our gun clubs, so we could all, see where everybody is. Maybe post up stuff about our place, just a small start to our big thing.
Okay, and so with that said, is there anybody out there that is good with website design? I need people with talent. I need people with brains that have the capacity to build something like this that we can all log into and use together. Maybe we could have a profile statistic of where you live, and you can put down the names of your local Senate and, your Congress, and you can put down the names of law enforcement, and you can put the status of where you stand and your solutions. This could be really powerful, guys, if we utilize this together.
And another option we could do before that site is up and running, start hashtagging stuff IG militias in your state. Then you can search each other out from state to state and get together and, think tank together on your own without everybody like this, without a scheduled meeting.
I'd also like to add to what One Arm's saying. Is there anybody out there that has any kind of website experience that could help us do this, maybe on the cheap or free or whatever? There's also a couple other things I'd like to address. As far as that rally on the 8th, it's on a Friday. If anybody could take off work and go to that, maybe with the open holster. Maybe there's also some holster companies.
Evening, guys. Just know, in Connecticut, tomorrow at the state capitol, there is a meeting of the commission that the governor committed.
Hey guys, just remember, being 245 or 250 in here right now, that, I have 500,000 followers between Instagram and Twitter, and I reach out to everyone. So just remember that if you guys ever have anything you think I should post up or something gun related to really proof facts, not just, funny pictures or whatever, but factual stuff, just tag me in them, and if I don't see it, keep tagging me, because like I said, I can only see 30 seconds of my feed. So, or email them to me, austin@garageinc.net. So I'm always there for all you guys and to help spread the word.
Yeah, once again, I just wanted to say some people might want to get onto battlecam.com. It's national, on TV and everything, so we can get on there and let some people know about some stuff that we want to say here.
Ryan Martinez in Southern California. This all sounds great, but we already have big dogs that are out there that are speaking for us, like the NRA. I know gun owners that aren't even a part of the NRA yet. We should write the NRA and tell them what we want to happen, because they're already in the field. They're already in the battle. I don't think it should start with something new. They're already out there. And I don't think the immediate fix, or the fix right now, is going out and buying guns or getting yourself armed with ammunition. I think it's with our youth. Tell them to get off video games and pick up a book and start reading about our forefathers and what they did to fight for our country and to get us to where we're at. Because we already lost the battle. Somewhere we got lazy and comfortable. So it's time to fight again and teaching our youth.
Yeah, this is Joe from Michigan. I just want to throw out there that I got some experience of running forums and building them up. If that's something I could help out, you guys can always contact me and do what I can to help out.
All right, I know I just said tag me in the pictures, but I just got like 26 tags. I can't see them all. Some of you guys are on private. Email me, austin@garageinc.net. That's austin@garageinc.net, and I'll be able to post those up for us.
I wanted to say something to One Arm Crank. I suggest that you guys check out lawenforcementtoday.com. About 80% to 90% of the users on the website is law enforcement. And I also wanted to say that I hear a lot of people saying that they want to express their opinions to us. And I do have a law enforcement background, but unfortunately, I don't get a lot of people's opinions, and I really do wish I could hear more of them.
Hey, I'd just like to say that I'm 16 years old, and the reason how I got into guns was like 7 years ago. My local gun club in Connecticut has, programs for the youth to do target shooting and stuff. So because of them, that's how I got into all this, guns and knives and all of these fun stuff. So gun clubs are a great way to start getting the youth involved and then, create the new generation to help, enforce and further this Second Amendment.
Yeah, man, I'm here in the Miami-Dade County area, and my name is Pablo. I'm local law enforcement here. First off, I don't know how long this has been set up, but I think it's great. I think that you guys need to keep this going. Communication is key. I can tell you that law enforcement's taken a huge blow, and a big thing. Sorry, guys, I got cut off. Anyways, just keep it together. Stay absolutely unified with this, guys. And communication is huge. Somewhere along, you got to keep this unified. If you're strong and you're together, that's your best chance here. And I think I was trying to bring a point earlier is that law enforcement took a big hit from local politics here because we just weren't unified. All right, we ended up.
Hey, good deal. Thank you very much. We'll be staying in touch. For those who are wondering, just right now for tagging from your specific state, in my situation, I just went on and I just tagged IG Militia AZ. So that's all you need to do for your state is just hashtag IG Militia and then put your state letters. If you're in California, just do IG Militia CA and start posting away in there. And in the meantime, I'll get in touch with risk takers and see what we can do about a website. Let's keep this going. Good work, guys.
This is Corey out here in Jersey. I'd like to say, the IG family really blew up over the last year or so on Instagram. And, to solidify that, you mentioned on the forum, a website, that would be great. A site like that, would be able to let other big, pro-Second Amendment organizations know that we exist. Also, I think another important thing is that you guys reach out to all the, the older people in the gun clubs, communities, and let them know what we're doing, because they might not be so tech savvy, and they might have no idea, that what we're doing exists. And we're here with big numbers, and I think it'd be good, to establish an official type of organization or website, something so that other people could join.
Hey guys, this is What It Do, King Rob up in Texas. Another thing that I've been doing personally is if you go to church, you can also start handing out flyers, speaking to people in a big group like that, and get the word out that way also. I noticed that has helped a lot in my community. I do go to different churches, and just get to talking to people. You really realize that that way they can get to know a little bit about the gun community and where you stand, and get together that way. That's one thing that I hadn't heard anybody speak about. So I just thought I'd pass that on. That was something that I've been doing in my area also. Out.
Hey guys, this is Gun God again. I'm so sorry if I cut anybody off. Anyways, listen, if you need to, get a hold of me, reach me at tapout0331 at Yahoo. Anything that I can do on my part to help out, I can tell you right now that the commitment's there. And again, stay strong, stay unified, and create awareness. All right, I'm out.
I've written letters to our state senators, legislators, people that are definitely involved and on our side, and people that aren't. I've gotten and bad responses from that. I think our biggest thing is our lack of communication, even on here, and the different groups. And what I mean by lack of communication is
even on the local level, even the mayor in town, around these towns, over.
Hey, this is George over in Maine. I just want to say I agree with I can't remember who said it earlier, but we got to get our kids away from the video games like that, get them reading books and like that. But also the biggest thing is that you can't get frustrated with the fight because there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to speak up, know what venues to go to get their word out, and they're depending on you guys and people like me to spread that word. So don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. It's going to be a long fight, and it's going to get longer.
Hey, my name's Anthony from Florida, specifically Osceola County, Central Florida. My suggestion is really to educate yourself. There's a video on YouTube called The History of Gun Control, And if you don't know your history, you're really dooming yourself to failure. This video, The History of Gun Control, talks about probably 6 different countries throughout the history of time that, try to control their population through. And what I was saying was it starts with registration. Every single country starts with registration. Oh, it's just a little registration, and then, they take that registration, now that they have everybody's, addresses, and, then it comes confiscation. And then after confiscation, they know that they can overtake their people. Their people have nothing to fight the government with, so the government's not afraid of their people anymore. And I was going to say, that's when we lose control, and I'm over and out. That was my piece.
Nobody blame anything. Nobody discuss the fact that it's not going to work. We're only here for positive and what will work. To my New York friends and followers, whatever, help Senator Marchioni. She's trying to protect our Second Amendment right. There's lawyers and people with money that are still working on this for us, so don't give up.
Part of that with the money issue, and this is a money game, I don't know if it's been brought up, but I'm really a firm believer, and especially in times like this, in donating to the people that have the loudest voice. The NRA, I know not everybody loves them, but right now they're the largest, our largest voice in Washington right now, and that goes for New York too. And so if you got $10, $20, something left, you got change laying around, donate that to the NRA, to the NRA, ILA, just get a couple bucks. It's $25 for a membership right now. That even helps, do something, get some money out there. It pays for the lawyers. It pays for...
Hey guys, it's Mike. A lot of you know me from Instagram, Glock19s. One thing that I haven't heard, I agree with 100% of everything what everyone's saying is awesome ideas, writing people, but I haven't heard anyone say write your Supreme Court justices. That's a good idea as well. And also starting, groups. Like I personally started a group on Facebook, and it's only been a couple months, but it's already about 30 people, and about 15 of them are here in Orlando, Florida. So, just getting the word out there, that would be number one. But as far as writing goes, I didn't hear anything about Supreme Court justices. There's more people to write besides your local senators. And I'm not sure where I got cut off at, but basically what I was saying is not just your senators. I've wrote to more than my senators and House representatives. I've wrote to the Supreme Court justices, and there's an actual format. If you're not familiar with how to write to them, you can look it up on Google. I've written to New York senators, the president, the vice president, the NRA, and only do I donate money, but I think...
Hey guys, I hope I'm not stepping on anybody's toes and just jumping into this. And I heard stuff about registration, writing senators and stuff like that. That stuff's all cool. And again, I said it earlier about preaching to the choir and stuff like that. Get out there and convert some people to be able to see our side of the argument.
All right, Backwoods Trooper. One, I found a website that might be able to help us out here. It's called gungrabalert.com. It looks like it's being set up to let you know what laws we've got coming down the pike, whereabouts, what sheriffs or what law enforcement are standing up and saying, It's called gungrabalert.com. What I was wanting to say is several folks has hit on it.
No, real quick, guys. The whole thing is strengthening our numbers, and by getting people out there, even if they never intend to own a firearm, they may enjoy shooting, they may enjoy the sport of it, but getting them to see that guns aren't bad. It's not guns that cause this stuff, it's bad people that cause this stuff. Getting more voices and more people on our side and letting them see why we enjoy... Yeah, I don't know why I keep cutting out, sorry. But getting more people involved and just taking people to the range and giving them the experience. Yeah, nothing is more important than that, and just getting people to see our side of the fight and let them know guns aren't bad, and the more people we can convert over to our side just by giving them a little bit of insight into what we...
To touch on what Downrange is saying, I've never taken anyone to the range that didn't come back and said, oh my God, that was amazing, that was so liberating, that was so much fun. pretty much whenever you take someone to the range that's never been to the range, they're going to love it and they're going to want to know more.
Yeah, I know why my stuff keeps cutting out, but exactly what I was saying, whoever just jumped on to the same thing. If you take one person shooting and get them to see guns in the positive light, not the negative light, that's a huge win. That's one more person for our fight. And I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, one thing like some of you guys could do too, and I mean, besides taking them out shooting, find someone, in your local area like Matt at DRFT training, or, somebody down here, Tier 1 security, guys that do this for a living and train, and, maybe sponsor somebody, sponsor someone that that is totally anti-gun and completely against it, and maybe take them to a class or,
I think I'm going to start giving firearms training, like pistol, handgun training for free, just as long as the person pays for ammo, because ammo is expensive right now, and you guys know that.
Even as far as that goes, as far as ammo being expensive and stuff like that, if you get a couple people going and you take them to your local gun shop and say, hey, you know what, here's the thing, donate us some 22 ammo. We want to get some more people involved in the sport so we have more voices to help us in the long run.
One thing I want to share with you guys, too, that are writing your governors and your legislators, there's an app called Congress. If you download it, if you have a smartphone, it will actually tell you every bill that they voted for, how they voted, their phone number, their email, everything about any senator or House representative.
Hey guys, this is Spencer from Maine. And to add on to that, if you take one person to the range that doesn't like guns, you change their mind around on it, they'll take more people and it'll get even more people into the sport.
Yeah, like Maddie's saying, a lot of the people that go to a lot of people that are anti-gun are usually afraid of guns, never been around guns, or just completely scared of them. So definitely take them out. I mean, I hope everyone on here knows how to actually take someone to a gun range. And if you guys are uncomfortable or just getting into it, ask for help. Ask the range master.
Yeah, and guys, I know even at my school, like once or twice a month, there's a group of people that they'll go hunting or they'll go. We have like a breakfast sometimes. We'll go out and just shoot skeet. I'm 15. There's probably 30 people went out last time. Just a bunch of shotguns. It was really fun. Everyone was really aware. It was just a good time.
And that's what it takes too, because if people perceive guns as bad and all that just from the media, then that's what they'll believe. But if they're getting hands-on, having fun, going shooting, then they'll go by that.
I'd just like to add before I leave, there is no wrong answer. Everybody's got to do everything that we're saying. The taking people to range, I know firsthand works. I've done it to a couple people that were far left, and now they're, crossing over to our side. But just do everything you can. Now, there's not one answer. There's multiple answers. Do everything. Out.
Oh, wow. Hey, guys. Haven't got an opportunity to say anything. Been kind of in some meetings and phone calls. I just want to hop on and say something. I've been listening to everyone and everyone's suggestions, and I think they're all great. Something that my company is doing is we are going to start holding clinics for not only gun enthusiasts but non-gun enthusiasts. Kind of like Bring a Friend to Work Day. We're going to do it every Saturday. It's going to be a 5-hour course on safety and shooting, and we'll be providing the ammunition for the first 2 classes and then sourcing for the rest. But if that's something, that makes sense to you guys and think that would help, feedback would be great.
Thanks, Paul. I'd like to also add something myself. For those of us that still live in states, where we can still practice our Second Amendment rights, if you have the opportunity, and I'm just saying this from personal experience, I've had the opportunity to train and shoot with law enforcement in classes and take them out to my spot in the desert. Here in Arizona, we have a lot of public land that we can go and shoot on that doesn't have range officers, and a lot of these law enforcement people are really by doing this, we gain these great relationships with people that are in our local police departments, these people that are out there on our streets every single day that might think that we are the enemy soon. This is possible, this can happen, but if they put a name to the face and they know you and they know that your neighborhood is full of good people and that you have personal experiences with many of these people, I've had the personal opportunity to train and become friends with a lot of local law enforcement. And I know just having gained those relationships with those people that they are on our side and they're going to stand with us if this unconstitutional crap passes into law. I really recommend that if you live in an area where you have the opportunity to reach out to a police officer, if you're eating in a restaurant or something like that, and you can spark a good conversation and be nice. I'm not saying, talk about their gun while they're wearing it. That's not something that I think is good etiquette. What I'm trying to say is spark good intellectual conversations with police officers that that end with a good handshake, and maybe they want to go shooting with you sometime. It's important that we have a relationship with the people in our communities that have sworn on oath to defend the Constitution, so that they know what type of people that they associate with every single day. The last thing that we want is a disconnected community of people. And then if the crap hits the fan, those would be the people that may think that you're bad news, and we don't want them to think that we're bad news. We want them to know that we're good people, just like everybody else, but that we're interested in what they do and they're interested in what we do. So that's just another proposal that I'd like to throw out there. Over and out.
One Arm, good proposals. I really like what you had to say there. I want to reiterate a lot of what you said. Just get out there and get connected with people. Also, educate yourself too. Before you take someone out to the range, make sure that you know the proper terminology for things. It's not a clip, it's a magazine. There's no such thing as an assault rifle, et cetera, et cetera. While you're showing people how to shoot, educate them as to what their choices are and what the laws are in your area or your state. Out.
Another thing that I didn't see get brought up that's big with me is I see a lot of it, and I know there's accounts for this, and nothing against the accounts, I think they're hilarious, but we got to stop shedding bad light on firearms. Firearms are not negative. You see it already enough in the media. We shouldn't subject ourselves to it. I think if we came out with a new Instagram, or it doesn't even have to be Instagram, just pushing out positive vibes out of firearms instead of such a negative light, it would help also. I mean, you go anywhere. I know I said this earlier. I live in the city in Orlando. I work in a horrible part of the city, and everyone from that area is taught that firearms are negative. They're bad. Stay away from them. That's not true. That's not true at all. I think if there was more positive light towards firearms, we kind of have a better mind frame. People would have a better mind frame towards them.
To One Arm Crank, I wanted to say something. I do agree in what you did say, and I have gained relationships with the public from law enforcement. But a lot of our departments have some sort of conduct or I guess you could say rule about interacting with the public and going shooting with the public.
Guys, touching upon what Austin said, what Tyler said, and what Paul all said, if you can get a gun club or something like that to kind of sponsor something that bring people in. I give free classes to people in here all the time just to get people in the door and get more guns in the hands of good people. You should be able to find a gun shop that will donate some ammo or some time, or a gun club or something like that that has the means to be able to do that stuff, because we all know the stuff's expensive right now. Also, what Mike just said about getting a positive account, get out there, get your friends on the line, post some pictures of people having responsible fun with firearms. Dude, Twitter it, Instagram it, Facebook it, social media is huge. Positive reflections on people using firearms.
Hi, B. Heaney, 22, Bart Heaney from Pittsburgh, PA. Just want to add a few things from my standpoint. I am an EMT, full-time EMT rescue technician in Pittsburgh, PA. We do have a THEMS team that are medics that we work locally and closely with our local police department. So luckily I have sort of, sorry about that, a close relationship with our local law enforcement, and more than most people, most of the cops in Pittsburgh are pretty pro-gun, and they're for the Second Amendment and for our constitutional carry rights. But what we do is, like I said, the THEMS teams, and we work very close with SWAT, and we're trying to push with our medical direction for our medics to carry. Good thing, bad thing, I'm not sure. I'm not undecided, because I know there's a few people out there that I wouldn't feel comfortable with them carrying, but just want some other people's inputs in EMS on that subject.
Hey, Bart, real quick to touch upon what you said. I think it's a good idea, but I also think it can be a dangerous idea, because you being an EMT paramedic, how good are cops at giving CPR? Not that cops are the greatest in defending people with guns and stuff like that, but the problem is, if everybody's got a gun and you're the first responder, what do? Do you take out a bad guy? Do you administer aid to somebody? So, that'd be kind of like giving cops fire extinguishers too and tell them to go put out fires. I think, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's probably not the best idea. I think it's cool for them to be armed. We have a way to defend themselves, but that kind of throws too many too many guns in the mix and too many Indians and not enough chiefs, if you get what I'm trying to say.
I don't know what happened. I was cut off, but I'm not EMT, and I do agree with 100% what Tactical Beard's saying, but I think that no matter who you are, you should be allowed to conceal carry. Not for the job officer, but you should be able to have personal protection on you at all times, no matter where you go. That's how I see it. I mean...
Okay, I'm sorry, this is Sandy from Texas. I was trying to say that Penal Code 4602 allows you in Texas to carry a concealed weapon in your vehicle, and as long as it is concealed and you don't have to have a license to carry that, and it's Penal Code 4602. And I actually found that ad started September the 1st in the newspaper, and I actually cut it out and laminated it and called the police department and asked them about it, and they said that yes, that you can carry a concealed weapon in your vehicle as long as you... And I got cut off again. And so that's about all I have to say about it. But as long as you don't have a felony, you can carry a concealed weapon in your vehicle.
This is something I stated earlier before the room exploded, but in Oklahoma, like I said, they're trying to pass the constitutional carry, so you can do that, and they're trying to pass a few other things before that, but they're trying to reach that by the end of the year. But they're also trying to pass like concealed carry and open carry in your car without a permit, and then ultimately they're trying to get rid of all permits, all fingerprinting, everything that has to do with the current concealed carry laws in Oklahoma. They're trying to do away with.
Yeah, it's Josh from Philly here. I'd like to add one more thing, and that's just to, especially concealed carry weapons owners, just to be vigilant, especially for those you guys who live in high crime rate areas. You know, I live in Philly, South Philadelphia. You know, we have a pretty high crime rate, and one thing to kind of help deter crime or violence is just...
So since the 90s, violent crime rates have gone down, and inevitably gun sales have gone up. So
I just want to remind everybody that February the 8th, at your local state capitol, I guess we're going to have another rally.
Just want to remind everybody, something we talked about earlier was to tag Instagram Militia, and then the next two letters with your state. So I'm from Florida. I've already tagged Instagram Militia, IG Militia FL, and I'm seeing a bunch of other tags for other states as well. So good job, guys. Out.
One of the things this is Lance from Texas. One of the things I used to do, and I'm fixing to start this back up again, is I go to my church, and I have groups that I take out and do a fun shoot some clays, and then do like a hamburger hot dog dinner afterwards. And that's just mostly to bring in new shooters, and out of every time I do that, I have 20 to 50% of the beginners that want to. I think that's a good way to get new shooters into the shooting sports and into guns, and get our word out. Over. Thanks.
Hey guys, I just want to throw out here quick. This doesn't have to end tonight. If you come up with a good idea, tomorrow, the next day, next week, next month, whenever the idea comes to you, there's a pretty strong group of guys that are always here in this channel. Pretty much any time of the day. And that this channel is always open. There's normally always a couple of guys in here, talking about something. It may not be, this deep. There's a lot of crap humor going on in here a lot of the times, but we're always here. There's always a core group of guys here. Over.
My local Northwest Firearms Forums, we do a range like every few months. Same with the Land Rover Club that I deal with. We do a lot of shooting area cleanups because they usually end up having to be near where we would roll through with four-wheel drives anyway. So it just kind of goes hand in hand.
Hey, Backwoods Trooper, I get what you're saying about it's not a weapon and stuff like that, and that's what the NRA teaches. They teach me to tell my students that it's not a weapon, but how do you tell your students that come and take an NRA class that it's not a weapon, and then my advanced class students, I tell them, well, this is a weapon because this is what you're going to use to defend your life with. At the end of the day, anything can be a weapon. It's just going to depend upon how you use it. We're not using it for malicious intent. We're using it for defense of ourselves and defense of loved ones. So in that instance, in my eyes...
Oh, no, brother. We, the human being, are the weapon. It's a firearm. It's a knife, it's a wrench, it's a screwdriver, it's a pair of scissors, it's your fist. Those are tools. Only tools, my brother. That's it. If that weapon
is,
a lighter doesn't make an arsonist. Spoons don't make Rosie O'Donnell fat. I saw it on Facebook. But, you know, it's just we, the humans, we're fully responsible for our actions, not the firearm.
Yeah, and again, I think this is something that Paul can probably back me up on. Yeah, you know what? As it sits there as a knife, a gun, whatever, it's a tool. When you put it in your hand and you're going to use it to defend yourself, it becomes a weapon. And that's the thing is getting people to realize the fact that it's a weapon when used in the right context. Whether it's for good or for evil, it's a weapon, and we use it for good to defend ourselves and our loved ones. As it sits there as an inanimate object, yes, it's a tool. But when used for its purposes, it's a killy thing. That's what it was made for.
I'm 100% with you on that, DeVito, and for several reasons. And I agree with you. The NRA teaches me as well not to use the word weapon. As a matter of fact, it's a $2 charge every time you say it in one of their classes. That being said, I agree with you 100%. It is a weapon when you put it in your hands to facilitate the protection of you or loved one or defense of someone's life. And in that case, it might have to take a life. Following the mindset and demonizing it by calling it saying we can't call it a weapon, that's part of the problem. It is a weapon when it is being used as a defensive tool. It is a sporting rifle when it is being used as a sporting rifle. We got to stop with the labeling and delabeling. It is a weapon. If it's a defensive gun, it is a weapon. That is what its purpose is. It's a weapon. It is not a tool. A tool is my screwdriver. A tool is my wrench when I'm using it to facilitate the need of turning a screw or backing off a nut off something.
Tyler, I totally agree 100% with you. And again, just backing up and agreeing with Paul, the whole thing of why it's become a negative connotation to use the term weapon is because that's what the anti-gun movement, that's what the liberal media uses to use as a term to classify all of the guns that we use, whether it's a modern sporting rifle, whether it's a target pistol, whatever it is. That's unfortunately the negative connotation that the media has used to apply to the things that we use for sport, recreation, and hunting. They've deemed them all weapons, and unfortunately, that is, like I said, it's a negative connotation. I get where Backwoods Trooper is coming from, but you also have the point that myself and Paul are trying to make that, you know, if we use it in the right context, we know what it's used for, and we can convey that knowledge to other people. And that's where it starts, guys, is conveying knowledge. That's the biggest thing right there.
Shady here from Georgia. I would kind of like to side with Backwoods Trooper on that one. I believe it is the verbiage that they use that confuses the issues. So when we fall prey to using that type of verbiage, we kind of back up their argument.
DRF training, I totally agree with you. But the media and gun leftists, they just want to say, well, what do you need it for? Well, really, it's not their right to tell us what we need it for.
And again, I said it before, I don't know, I said it before, we're not a lot of people in the room. It's not pro-gun, it's not anti-gun, it's pro-rights, guys. That's the biggest thing. We're fighting for our rights here. It's our rights that we stand to lose, just aside from the guns alone. You take the guns away from it, it's still a Second Amendment right. And, I don't mean to jump on whoever just told the dude that, yeah, congratulations, you used it. But, guys, a little bit of knowledge goes a long way with people. Ask anybody in this room. Ask Paul. Paul's an instructor. Everybody's got to start somewhere. It starts with a little bit of knowledge. Ask Tyler. Tyler's an instructor. You don't just fucking come out of the womb with a gun in your hand. I mean, I know I didn't.
Hey, Shady from Georgia here again. I just wanted to finish my statement in that I think it's the confusion of the words. We all know about the assault rifle, the confusion there within, and it really is influencing the masses to buy into this kind of stuff. So verbiage is a very important thing. So in that aspect, I'm with the Backwoods Trooper there when he says that we kind of got to watch how we refer to these things because it's part of their game plan to destroy us. So we really have to be careful with that.
Hey, thanks for sharing. Along with what DeVito just said, we need to be a group with open arms to all people who come to us for information. I know when I first started out, I had some of the dumbest questions, like seriously, some of the silliest stuff, but it wasn't really silly because I just didn't know. And so we need to be open-minded, and we need to, be. I just wanted to say, hey guys, let's be an audience that says, hey, we're willing to take all people in, all Americans that have this right endowed upon them, to really pursue that avenue. We need to be open-minded about all those people that are coming in. I've been in classes with people that you would never have thought that would become interested in firearms. You would never have thought that they'd be interested in firearms, but they came forward and they got training, and now they're great friends of mine. They're excellent shooters, and we need to have a proactive, positive attitude toward all members of our community. Their right to bear arms is just as important as ours, so let's be really supportive with each other. We need to support each other during this time. I cannot beat that dead horse enough.
I just want to go further on that, and everybody needs to stay positive. Stop looking at things in a negative light, because, you know, as everybody said before, negativity breeds negativity. So if we stay positive about these things, the more positive things are going to come about. If you go toe-to-toe with Piers Morgan and punch him in the throat, guess what? You're going to end up with a lawsuit, and you're going to make gun owners look bad. So stay positive about these things.
I think Tucker, Steve, Grant, Oyster, a lot of you guys that I normally get a chance and the privilege to talk to on a nightly basis, we've discussed this a lot in the past months, way before this even started to happen, about we need to start grouping together under one flag. And I think you guys are really touching on a very positive point here as far as education and letting people in and being kind and courteous. How many times have we gone to discuss this and talked about the different what I would consider camps of firearms, the shotgun guys, the classy shooters, the bullseye guys, the range monkeys. There's just so many types of people. We need to all start getting together and be helpful and beneficial to each other instead of shunning that individual or just making fun of that individual. We need to start getting together and be more of a group. And once again, I can't beat this dead horse enough. I would rather educate you than berate you, and that's my biggest thing. And I'm still a student. I'll always be a student. I never will stop being a student. And I think that everyone should kind of take on that connotation to, hey, you know what? I want to help as many people as I can. I don't want to make myself look better and like the alpha by talking crap on the guy 2 lanes down from me that doesn't know how to clear a jam or doesn't even know how to point or present his gun. Start helping. You got to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
Exactly. Paul just hit the guys. We're all part of the same community. Whether you like to shoot trap, whether you like to shoot a single action revolver, whether you like to run a full auto gun, we all enjoy shooting. Okay. I've taught people that have had no experience with guns. I've taught the guys that wear the special T-shirts in the armed forces and do the bad things to the bad people. Yeah, like I was saying, I've taught people that have never picked up a gun before to I've taught guys that wear the special T-shirts. They do the bad things to bad people. They got multiple deployments and all kinds of combat medals and shit like that. I've taught people that have been in wheelchairs. I don't think anybody in this room that's an instructor will tell you any different. All we want to do is teach people the right way so they themselves. Doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter. It's all about being positive, spreading the good word, and getting more people on our side. And like I said, maybe me, Paul, and Tyler have a different view on it being instructors. This is what we do. This is what we choose to do for a job. But you have to be willing to accept those people into this subculture that we have here and welcome them with open arms. It doesn't matter their age, their gender, their race, if any kind of disability or something like that. At the end of the day, we all want to learn how to use a gun, whether for recreation or self-defense purposes, and to reach out and help somebody and teach those people. It's all it's going to do is going to breed more people of the same mindset. So kudos to everything you guys all said as far as Tyler, Tucker, and Paul goes.
And guys, I need you to understand something as far as the dynamic between all of us goes. Myself, Pace Tactical, and Downrange Firearms, we are of different schools of thought as far as our training methodology goes. And me and Mr. DeVito bump heads a couple times, yet we still respect each other as instructors because at the end of the day, we're educators. You won't see a teacher berate a student for being, asking a silly question, just like that teacher won't berate his peers. They have a problem. We will discuss it. We will discuss what the issues are. And if you can't agree, then you can't agree. But if, once again, let's work. We're seeing way too much negative these days, and I really want to start seeing some more positive. And I try to do it on my day, and I know that I've tried to do the best I can. The best I can hope for is that the 100 or 200 people in this room will start to adapt that and adopt that. And listen, some of you guys are alphas. Some of you guys want to have all the answers to all the questions. Fuck that. You don't have all the answers. No one does. Matt doesn't. I don't. Crank doesn't. None of us do. We're still learning as well. You got to keep that in mind. Be a student. I said that Mr. DeVito said something about 20 minutes ago, and I honestly said I've said to you guys many times that me and Matt sometimes bump heads, and not even on-handed, more off-handedly. But hearing some of the things that he said today, I definitely have a newfound respect for him, even though I already have respected him. And I think that me and him are getting along just fine.
And again, guys, like Paul said, me and him teach from two very different schools of thought. We may bump heads. End of the day, we come together for a common cause, and that's this. And the only thing I ask Paul to do is stop calling me Mr. DeVito. Damn it, sounds too fucking official.
Really need to understand here, this is gun collector by the way, is that we're on the wrong side of, sorry about that, I was just saying that our biggest problem is losing battle of a public relations war. Liberal media has the biggest issue we've got, public relations war, losing big liberal media machine. The reason why we're losing is they scare the hell out of people, and they scare them by demonizing a weapon to the point where an average person on the street that has never fired a gun before is instantly afraid of it, afraid it's going to shoot them without them even touching it. And people try to defend the Second Amendment, they're really jumping on people and going after people, bringing up conspiracy theories and things that are out of the mainstream. It will never attract the mainstream person that we're trying to get. So what we need to do as a community is to be respectful of the people that do have differing opinions than us, that don't like the Second Amendment, that don't like the guns, and try to persuade them with fact, because they're not going to listen to things that aren't fact.
I've compiled a lot of data about, gun control and how it's negative and crime statistics and stuff like that. And I've had people straight up tell me, I'm not going to listen to you because I didn't hear it on CNN.
Well, let's try to figure out a way that something we could all do other than what we've been discussing as far as going out as individuals and being proactive. How are we going to change this viewpoint on us when every day I look on the news and they found some hillbilly that's done something wrong and they interview him and he just ruins it for us? How are we going to make those changes? Let's discuss that.
I'll give you a great example. I posted a picture tonight, went insanely popular. Some guy posts a message saying, you know what, I don't like guns. Immediately afterwards, 3 people jump on him and say, you know what, you should leave the effing country if you don't like guns and you don't want to be here. That type of reaction does not do us any favors, does not do us any good. What you need to do is try to find out why the person doesn't like guns and try to give them an argument or a debate. If they won't have anything to do with you, oh, no problem. I was just saying, you're always going to have the people that will be, I'm with the party line. I will never like guns no matter what.
Chris, first off, it's nice to put a voice with the name. But you're right. The liberal media is using, their numbers game, and so we kind of need to go back to grassroots, step up. If you've got a small business that's involved with the Second Amendment or firearms, get involved in your local community, whether it's volunteering time for, parades, donating money, whatever. Make sure they understand that what your company stands for, too. Put yourself in a good light. Same thing with individuals too. You can go on volunteer time. It doesn't have to do anything to do with the Second Amendment or but wear a shirt, do something, wear a hat, tell people, why you're there or what you represent. Spread the word of, let people know that the Second Amendment, people that stand behind it and the firearms community in general, put a good, name in a good picture in 2 or 3 people's minds. And if, a lot of us do that, we could spread out as far as the media goes with 1 or 2 voices, by speaking to 2 or 3 people with 1,000 voices.
Well, I have something I'd like to say if you guys don't mind. There's something that I've noticed, and I noticed this actually when I was watching a recent Travis Haley video. I'm pretty sure you guys have all had the chance to see it. where it looks like he was out hiking and he just sits down with his camera and starts talking. There's one thing I really noticed about Travis, and I think that this is something that needs to apply to all of us. And also, you know, Van Dunk is a good buddy of mine. I haven't known him for a very long time, but I genuinely respect him because of his positive character. And the same thing goes for Travis Haley. These people conduct themselves as true professionals. The last thing that we want is to be painted as a community of people that are argumentative and that have a personality of negativity or putting other people down, or that we're just a bunch of tough guys that, you know, attach an ego to a gun. We need to be loving, calm, collected people that, you know, we're the last thing that people need to worry about. That's the type of mentality that we need to show as a community. We need to be positive, and when we do things, it needs to come from a positive standpoint, a positive light. When we speak to people, we need to speak to them as though they're people. Not people, but we need to speak to people as though they are human beings. And that is really a big issue here, is that it's just like a Republican speaking as though, hey, those are Democrats, not Republicans, or they're liberal, they're not conservative. We need to stop with all that stuff and need to realize that we're all on the same playing field. We're just dealing with other human beings, and we need to conduct ourselves as true men, true alpha professionals, people that when they walk into a room, people stop what they're doing to listen because they respect you. Respect is earned. It is not given. And in order for us to receive the respect that we deserve, we have to go out and we have to conjure that respect by being certain individuals. And it starts now. It starts by deciding that you're going to be a good person and that you're going to be accepting and loving and compassionate to the people that are around you. We cannot expect our fellow men and women in our community to give a damn about anything that we say if they don't respect us. True leadership starts by leading by example. That's something that I learned when I was trained by the military, and it's something that I still believe in today. We got a big fight. That's something that I believe everybody out there probably agrees with. We just need to work on it as a community, be more embracing of each other and all the other people out there that may not understand where we're coming from. They look at a gun and they think it's scary and dangerous. Don't hate them because of their unfamiliarity with a gun. You know, it's ignorance. All we need to do is patiently show them, love them, and do the same thing that we want. This is the time for us to stand up together. I want to see us all stand together as alphas, people that are respected because we carry ourselves as professionals. That's all I'm really trying to say here. Out.
Well said. The problem is everybody sees us as bad people because they see guns are associated with bad. Nobody sees the good side of, you know, actually owning a gun. So naturally they're going to think guns are bad because all this stuff happens, you know, like with the shootings and, you know, murders and stuff like that. Every bad thing is associated with a gun.
And that's okay. We just need to patiently work with those people. I have a brother-in-law who was born and raised in Canada, moved to the United States, lives in California, and doesn't understand the legitimacy of owning a firearm. The last time that I saw him, I unloaded my rifle, and I took it upstairs, and I showed him all the characteristics on a rifle that these politicians are going after. And as soon as he saw it for himself, there was a veil that was uncovered, and he saw a firearm for what it truly is. It is literally a tool. Now, you guys can you can label a firearm however you want to. That's your personal prerogative, so be it. The point is if we work with these people, regardless of how irrational or angry and hostile these people may come off at us, we cannot return fire with the same type of punishment. We cannot do that to people. We have to be patient, and we have to show them that, hey, I'm sorry you feel this way. They want to know why I carry a gun concealed. Why don't you just turn around and why do you carry a spare tire in your trunk of your car? Are you expecting a blowout today? You know, it's not really any different. It's a personal decision that I've decided to make. And if you don't want to carry a gun, I respect that too. But, you know, don't try to take that right away from me. It's just not a good enough argument. When we carry ourselves as professionals, people will look at you as a professional. They will stop doubting you just because you carry a firearm. The point I'm trying to make is people may look at you as though you're bad just because you carry a gun. We can't let that deter us from committing to this cause and sticking through it.
Well, to go along with that, you know, if you think about it, the single best thing that we could do as a community is to find people that have never shot a gun before and find people that have never shot before, take them to the range with you, and show them how to use a gun in a safe manner. Because I'll tell you, I have taken new, but teach people that have never shot how to use a gun. They will change their opinion.
Yeah, and go on what he was, gun collector was saying before about his post and people receiving negative feedback on whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Instead of jumping on people and telling them, go, move, leave the country, whatever, getting all negative. I had a long conversation, debate, if you will, book on my wife's feed with two young ladies. And basically, the one had legitimate, responses to the things I was stating, and the other one kept coming back with, "What are you, paranoid?" That type of stuff. Don't get angry and don't respond negatively. Respond truthfully. Tell them, no, I'm not paranoid. One Arm Crank just brought up the fact that, I don't carry a spare tire. This day and age, tires are made so good. Why do you need a spare tire? You'll maybe pop one tire once in your lifetime, if that. You might not need it at all. Same thing goes with a gun. I'd rather have it and not need it than not have it and need it. So if you go into the argument and you know what you're talking about, you get educated, you know your facts, you know your sources, you know places to find quotes, whatever. The end result will be, in this case, when I had this argument, the one young lady that was calling me names and asking me if I was paranoid ended up going back and deleting all of her posts, which I don't know why, but I think she felt stupid. And the other one actually congratulated me and told me I'm very good at this and that she understands my point. She still felt indifferent about what I was saying, but she said I made very good points. Now, if everybody conducted themselves in that way, that would help. It may not flip people into our views, but it'll open their minds.
That's well said, but, there's always going to be an immature side of the left and the right. Like the left's going to call us warmongering, jingoists, whatever, and the right is going to call left whatever. But when the left is being immature or whoever you're debating with is immature, just beat them with your maturity and just beat them by responding with intelligence and facts. And yes, that's happened before. I've gone to a Facebook debate, and she literally deleted her post and then blocked me, so she never see me again. So yes, maturity beats them, even if they won't admit it.
And you're right. Some of these people are just looking for a fight. Don't give them the satisfaction fighting with them, because that's what they're hoping to achieve. A lot of these people have so many deep insecurities that they literally want to see you come down to their level, and we can't submit to that. We got to be bigger and better than that. To show them that we're going to be that way. And so, it's easy, especially right now with this divided nation, to run across those type of people. And you just gotta stay calm with them and don't play by their rules. Play by your own.
I totally dig the personal responsibility approach to this, but while we're all doing this in our own, engagements and interactions on an individual basis, the agenda is still being pushed, and states are going to still be losing their rights, and civil disobedience is going to go up.
Yeah, Biscuits, I think you've got it right. We need to get the ear of the mainstream media by going out as large groups of gun owners and volunteering in the public to change the opinion of gun ownership.
Media is not going to care about a bunch of gun owners picking up trash. They're going to care about a bunch of gun owners demonstrating in front of a state capitol.
Yeah, it's just people try to bring you down, just be meek about it. And I got a question about Hawaii's gun rights and gun control. How do they stand about it?
Well, there's been 4 onerous bills introduced. One of them is a confiscation bill for my assault rifle, so-called assault rifle. They also are trying to limit magazines. They've introduced a bunch of registration schemes for firearms and ammo. So they're going after the same stuff, basically, that New York went after.
Far be it for me to, conclude an argument or anything like that, but I'm just saying my opinion is very strongly based on the fact that if we don't get the people...
Yeah, it's pretty clear the agenda that's been set forward, and I think that there's a trending pattern of watching a lot of these people sell us out state by state And this is what the whole entire mission of this meeting was today, is to reflect on that together and offer real-time solutions, things that we can do lawfully, as in legal, to promote change. And, you know, we talked about the open holster. We talked about the stickers for that. We talked about accountability. We talked about the blue gun idea. And, I mean, there's a lot of ideas that we've brought to the table. This is the type of stuff that we need to be talking about in order to continue promoting change. This is the time. Not tomorrow, not next week. We all need to get to work on these things, and we need to commit to what we're going to, what we do, what we say, what we'll do. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Really do appreciate the outcome. It was extraordinary. It's been incredible. For those who want to catch up on what was said in here, we're going to be talking about this a lot more. Anybody can always come in this room, and please continue to show your fellow men respect. And, you know,
hey, at One Arm Crank, I think when you bring up the point about promoting change on Instagram, along with all the Second Amendment stuff, comes a lot of conspiracy posts and stuff. I think that needs to be cut out. I think that creates a bad image for what we're trying to promote.
Well, I understand where you're coming from, but the only real thing you can control at this point is what you do. You know, I know that you live in one of the states, one of the counties, you know, and you can do things on your own end to promote positive change. You don't have to necessarily submit to everything you're seeing on Instagram. It's okay to have your own opinions. It's okay to have your own drive and direction. We're really just trying to create a massive think tank where all of us can come together and promote really good ideas. I mean, think about people that have lived in oppressed nations, the Russians. You can see back in the Soviet Union when they were under the oppression of tyranny, of communist law, that they were expressing themselves in ways that made enormous change. There was people who would paint in secret. Inside of their paintings were cryptic messages. There was nothing illegal about it. But the way that people cry out for freedom is unique in every single person, and this is what I'm trying to promote, is everybody to cry out for freedom in your own unique way. What are you going to do? What are you as a human being on this earth going to do to be a free man and to promote being a free man, a free woman, to have your own sovereignty and to have that be respected? I'm saying that beyond writing your... Sorry, I'll finish up here, guys. I just wanted to say every single one of us wants to be free. We want to have our own decisions that we can make for ourselves. And if we continue the path of what we're doing, more of our rights are going to be stripped from us. I literally sat last night and I talked to a good buddy of mine, Derek, in New York City. And we talked about all the crap that's going on down there. And it just kills me to just sit here on every single day and watch our rights be stripped from us, because we are relying on other people to follow through with things for us. And a lot of the times we end up just being disappointed because people don't do what they say they'll do. But us as people, we can hold each other accountable. We can hold ourselves accountable. So that's why I'm trying to get everybody to come together and think of revolutionary ideas. Like I said, if we can create enormous technology, if we can send people into outer space, we sure as hell can come up with great ideas to defend our freedoms and our liberties. I truly appreciate everything that every person has ever done in this nation, all the way back to the Founding Fathers, the people who got on boats and left the UK to come and pursue of freedom. These people, everything that these people did, they did for freedom. And what are we going to have to show for ourselves when our life is said and done? What are we really going to have to show for ourselves? That we just sat back and maybe sent off a few letters to our Congress that failed to even open a letter or call us back or even vote in our favor? These people that went out and campaigned before their election that they were going to promise us the world, and they didn't do what they said that they would do. It's now in our hands. The ball is in our court. It's 2013. It is a year of a revolution, and it's time for us to stand together and think like a bunch of revolutionists. It doesn't mean be violent. It doesn't mean be unlawful. It doesn't mean be a stupid act. It means think collectively. It means think smart and do things that are smart. This is what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to promote a lot of out-of-box thinking that allows people to carry themselves in a manner outside of their home or in their home to promote real change. I think that we came up with some great ideas today. I hope that we continue to come up with ideas so that we can ultimately bless the lives of each other and help aid in freedom across the world. And today, it's in our own borders, and that's our biggest concern. And so we got to get to work on this. There's no time to just let go by and waste. This is happening as we speak, and this is the reason why this meeting happened today. We had an outstanding turnout. Thank you to every single person that stayed up late, that got up early this morning and called around and posted messages on forums. You guys are all kick-ass Americans, and I would be more than proud to stand next to you guys and defend our freedom.